I'm Starborn. Remember, to be a star, you have to shine your own light, follow your own path, and not worry about the darkness, because that's when stars shine brightest. If you've been looking at our website, starborninstitute.org, you would already know that the title of tonight's show is A Gentle Nudge. And that is because even though there is a harsh grand cross among 5 planets in the mutable signs, there is still the possibility of making more progress toward a better future right now. And that is because there is a marvelous grand trine in the earth signs, and there's another trine in the air signs, which are very creative, and then there's another trine in the fast-acting dynamic fire signs. So there are all kinds of possibilities for success and for a better future for a lot of people right now. And so despite the opposition or indecision or deception or treachery or war of words that's going on right now among people who are usually flexible, but they're not being that way at the moment, there can still be the possibility that with a gentle nudge by the captains of industry on leaders right now, there could be the formation of new policies, or there can be some diplomatic agreements that help people work toward peace and prosperity, which would be great. However, not everyone's in agreement, and that is because today Mars and the Sun in Gemini, which does rule transitions and easy changes and communication, are opposing Saturn in Sagittarius. And since Saturn is a planet of obstruction, there can be groups of people around that want to keep things the same old way because they're real comfortable with that and they don't want change. So those forces are sort of going at it, and that's partly why there can be a lot of squabbling right now. But there are 2 other planets in mutable signs that can be causing problems as well, and that is because the moon in Virgo today is squaring the Sun and Mars in Gemini and Saturn in Sagittarius, and Neptune in Pisces is doing the same thing. It's opposing the moon in Virgo, but it's squaring Saturn in Sagittarius, and it's squaring the Sun and Mars in Gemini. So there can be quite a bit of squabbling and testy opinions being given about everything in the world. And yet there are some really good reasons why, with a gentle nudge, you might be able to go forward toward your heart's desire, or more success, or at least peace and prosperity right now. One of the really big reasons why there can be some progress made, particularly by the captains of industry, is because today Mercury, that planet of communication, is in Taurus, a sturdy earth sign that rules hard work, and it is being trined beautifully by the moon in Virgo and also by Pluto in Capricorn. So that's the grand trine in earth signs, and that denotes people, particularly people at the top who do have money, and it denotes them wanting to invest, and in a very big way, and that can create much better job opportunities, and it can also create long-term financial stability. And so there's a lot to gain. That's what prosperity and peace are all about. And there are people that are sort of willing to put their money where their mouth is right now and get on with large projects that can employ quite a few people. So that's good news. And then also there is a trine in the air signs, and that is because that Sun and Mars in Gemini are trining Jupiter in Libra right now. And because Mars is such an energetic planet, it means there can be some sort of urgent appeal right now for a peaceful settlement of a legal issue or a legal matter. And the reason why they may want to reach a legal settlement quickly is because Jupiter is going to go direct in on June 10th, and it rules partnership, love and marriage, peace and prosperity, and it rules the law. And because it's trining the planets in Gemini, which do rule transition and easy change, it simply means that we may be able, with a gentle nudge towards some sort of peacemaking, to have better partnerships or to benefit from mergers and acquisitions. So that's good as well. And then there's also a trine in fire signs. In fact, today, Venus, the planet of love, and Uranus, that planet of sudden surprising change, are both in Aries, and they are being trined by Saturn in Sagittarius. And yet Sagittarius is a mutable sign, so that Saturn is beleaguered right now because it's facing a lot of opposition and squares. However, because Venus and Uranus are trining it, it simply means that there may be a new diplomatic initiative coming forward, and that would be with the possibility of removing some old obstruction that has lost its strength and can't continue anyway. So it can be that we are about to create some sort of initiative that can remove a problem, and that initiative can then get things going in a more productive way. And so even though there can be testy, deceptive, treacherous people around who are spewing forth their venom in a lot of different directions, still, the will of the world is actually to just get on with it, because most people in the world just want peace and prosperity. And so I have a little gentle hint for you. Just remember that working hard really beats dying hard. And so it really is time for the world to settle down and to get on with our lives. And I think that is what most people want right now. So I hope the people that are at cross purposes with each other begin to work a few things out or develop a little flexibility. Because with a gentle nudge from these captains of industry, they can make all of our lives better. And that's what I'm hoping will come out of these wonderful trines. All right, what does this mean to all 12 of the sun signs? Well, Aries, remember I said Venus and Uranus are tightly conjuncting each other in your sign, and they are being trined by Saturn in Sagittarius, which because Saturn is beleaguered right now, it can indicate that you could be on the brink of some diplomatic initiative to start something new, but it can be related to something that has grown old or stale or just isn't helping anybody right now, and you may be instrumental on working on something new that would replace whatever has been holding people back right now. And so this is a time of opportunity for you, Aries, and it also is a time when there can be some urgency about you getting something underway. And the initiative that you show right now toward getting a new project underway can be greatly appreciated, and it can help you make an easy transition. And the reason why is that Mars, your own ruler, along with the Sun in Gemini, are sextiling your Sun where you have Uranus and Venus. So you do have something to gain by diplomatically going forward with something new and replacing something that has outlived itself, and it doesn't have enough strength to continue anyway. So I hope you're looking forward, not backward. All right, what does it mean to a Taurus? Well, Taurus, it's wonderful for you that there is a grand trine in earth signs today, because that means that Mercury in your sign is trining the moon in Virgo and also Pluto in Capricorn. What that means, since Mercury is the planet of the mind and it rules Virgo, it's in a wonderful position because it's trining the sign it rules. It also rules Gemini, which is right ahead of your sign. So it's it's sextiling the other sign it rules as well. And so I think that means, Taurus, that you've really got your mind on things right now. One of the things you could be thinking about is your health, because Virgo does rule health, but it also rules banking. So I think that you've really got your feet on the ground right now, Taurus, and that you are thinking about long-term security. You are thinking perhaps about a health matter, and you can also be thinking about the high cost of living, because your sign does rule rather expensive things. But that's why you're such a good hard worker, because you don't mind working hard at a fairly good rate in order to provide well for your family, which is a major priority of yours. So this is a wonderful time for you to be really thinking and prioritizing and deciding things. And also, if you do have your mind on a health matter, Taurus, I think it is going to work out well for you. So I think you should go ahead with whatever you're thinking about in that direction. Okay, what does it mean to a Gemini? Well, Gemini, remember I said the Sun and Mars in your sign are being opposed by Saturn in Sagittarius, so there's a struggle between the urgency that you feel is necessary to get some sort of transition or easy change underway, and the obstruction that you may be facing right now. Well, also, the Moon in Virgo is squaring your Sun, and Neptune in Pisces is opposing your Sun sign. So your sign is part of this grand cross in mutable signs with 5 planets that are not seeing eye to eye at the moment. But at the same time, there is a trine in the air signs. So if you could not get involved in the chatter or the squabbling or the somewhat I would describe as infighting of other people, then you could open yourself up to taking advantage of some favorable legal change that, or diplomatic change that could be coming up for you when Jupiter goes direct in Libra on June 10th, because it is trining your Sun, and I think a legal matter is going to work more in your favor sometime around the middle of June or sometime this summer. So if you can be patient, I think something will work out. So you really have to be careful not to overstep your boundaries, because it'll just involve you in some sort of morass of arguments and squabbling, and that'll just defeat the purpose of the good that you can do now, Gemini. So focus on the good and turn your back on everything else, because things will change. It's just really important for you to focus on things that can bring peace and prosperity, and it's either you that's going to be doing a little nudging right now to bring about peace and prosperity, or someone is going to decide something that will help you with that, and so that will help you move forward as well. So try to be patient and try not to get involved in destructive conversations that won't lead anywhere anyway. Just rise above the fray right now, Gemini. Okay, what does it mean to a Cancer? Well, Cancer, I think that there are so many other things going on right now that can represent differences of opinion, that you would be better off not to get involved with all of that. And that is because there is still a harsh T-cross in cardinal signs. So Uranus and Venus in Aries are squaring your Sun, Jupiter in Libra is squaring your Sun, and Pluto in Capricorn is opposing your Sun. In 10 days, when Jupiter goes direct in Libra, and it's still squaring your Sun, but it's going forward, it could be a time when you decide to do something a little bit extravagant. Generally, a Sun-Jupiter square indicates extravagant or sort of over-promising something. So you may feel, after all the challenges that you've already faced this year, that you owe yourself a little something for that. And so if you do decide to go ahead and spend some extra money on something that would make you happy, I think you should, Cancer. You have been through a lot of stress and strain and challenges due to things that were beyond your control. It's not like you could have fixed a lot of things this year, because you weren't in charge of, or you weren't causing the problems. And so this is a time when you might want to step back and think a little bit more kindly about yourself and what you can do to bring about peace and prosperity just for yourself. That's not being selfish, Cancer, that's being kind. And not a lot of people have been kind to you this year, so it's up to you to be kind to yourself instead, and I hope you do treat yourself. Okay, what does it mean to a Leo? Well, Leo, this is a time when a gentle nudge can sort of shift the emphasis on things, and that can be good for you. And that is because Venus and Uranus in Aries are trining your sun, and Saturn in Sagittarius is also trining your sun, but it's beleaguered. It's not of much use to you right now. So instead of always falling back on the people who have supported you previously, I think that you have to look forward towards new things right now. And somebody can even be nudging you towards something new, and that's a good idea, Leo. After all, you have a lot of leadership characteristics, and you are able to do a lot of different things, but particularly you are very good at outreach. And this is a time when good public relations skills and good communication skills are going to do you a lot of good. So I hope you get out and network. The Sun and Mars are sextiling your Sun, and Jupiter in Libra is also sextiling your Sun. So there are people around that can assist you or give you new opportunities to overcome obstacles and move forward. Even if it's just by a gentle nudge, it'll get you in the right direction, Leo. So I hope you communicate with a lot of different people right now, because they'll have good tips for you and good ideas. Okay, what does it mean to a Virgo? Well, Virgo, the moon is in your sign today, and it is forming a grand trine in earth signs, and that means that Mercury, your own ruler in Taurus, is trining your sun, and Pluto in Capricorn is also trining your sun. Well, that's wonderful for you, Virgo, because it simply means that the things that you have been quietly paying attention to, even the smallest of details, are really adding up right now, and you can be rather happy with the way you have been organizing things or planning things, because they can more or less be falling into place right now. And that could involve the financial things that you have been involved with, so that's all to the good. But yours is a mutable sign, and there are 5 planets in mutable signs in a harsh grand cross, and so you can be enveloped in relationships that are among people who are sort of squabbling or disagreeing with each other, or even telling outright lies right now. So you really have to check the facts, Virgo, and you really need to step back and away from people who want to involve you in their problems, because you know you didn't cause the problems, and this is not a good time for you to get sort of sucked in to things that can really be your downfall. In other words, you can get involved at a level that isn't going to do you any good. So you need to stay away from anybody that you even suspect is not on the level. And really stay away from them, because they could be lying or trying to mislead you. So this is a time of caution for you. All right, what does it mean to a Libra? Well, Libra, this is a time that I think you could typify as you're right on the brink of a turnaround, and that is because Sun and Mars in Gemini are trining your Sun, which is good, and you have Jupiter in your sign, and it is going to go direct on the 10th of this month. And that is when I think that you will be not exactly supercharged, but you will be feeling a lot better, Libra. And it does mean that there can be the possibility of even some sort of urgent appeal to peacefully settle a legal matter. And that is in order to form better partnerships, or to have mergers and acquisitions, or to sort of get on with your life. And so that's going to be good for you, Libra. And I would say when Jupiter goes direct on the 10th, for the rest of the summer, you're going to be able to sort of coast forward, and things will work out better for you. It doesn't mean that you can get away from all the problems that you've had, because a lot of them you haven't caused. So you can't do anything about something that's out of your control, but you can be much happier, and I think that begins in the middle of June for you, so good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Scorpio? Well, Scorpio, this is a time when there aren't any planets in the fixed signs except Mercury in Taurus, which is opposing your Sun. So that still means that you are going to have to face either hidden costs or higher costs, or there can be something that you've just got your heart set on that is a little bit beyond your budget, Scorpio. So you still will have to be very patient and wait something out. And at the same time, though, there is the possibility that if you're willing to work really, really hard at something and sort of start at the bottom and just keep going in a very persistent way, that you can create progress. And there is the possibility, once Jupiter goes direct in Libra on the 10th, because it's right behind your sun sign, that there can be some really good help for you behind the scenes, or the possibility of a new partner behind the scenes that can be of great aid to you, or it can simply be that you get some good legal advice, and that could help you out as the month rolls on. But as far as money goes, I think you still need to sit on the sidelines, Scorpio, because there isn't enough support in the water signs right now. There's only one planet, Neptune in Pisces, which is trining your sun, but it is beleaguered and not of much help at the moment. So try to be patient. Okay, what does it mean to a Sagittarian? Well, Sagittarius, I think that you really do need to get ready for change. It might be change that only starts with a gentle nudge right now, but I think it's going to be there. And that is because Sagittarius, Uranus and Venus are conjuncting each other in Aries, the sign of new beginnings. And that simply means, since they are trining your sun, that this can be a time when there can be a more diplomatic initiative. Remember, all the fire signs like initiative. They have initiative, actually, because they like to get going on things. So with these two good planets trining your sun, there can be some new initiative to try to help you change in some way. Remember, the Sun and Mars in Gemini, which rules change, actually it rules transition and easy change, is opposing Saturn in your sign, and the Moon in Virgo is squaring it, and Neptune in Pisces is also squaring it. You more or less have to change right now, Sagittarius, and by being realistic and listening to creative people, and perhaps following a diplomatic initiative that relieves you of some burden or some responsibility, that in the end, even if you have to be nudged sort of to the sidelines a little bit, in the end you'll have more rest and you'll probably be happier. So I hope you anticipate change in a way that you know can bring you greater peace of mind. Okay, what does it mean to a Capricorn? Well, Capricorn, you can certainly be in the driver's seat, because Mercury in Taurus is trining your sun, and that Moon in Virgo is also trining your sun, where you have Pluto. So you are very well affected by the grand trine in earth signs, and that simply means that there can be good news about money, but there can also be some development, a good development, that has to do with your health, Capricorn. It might be that your health, little by little, has greatly improved. It can also be that you just have a better attitude toward your health, and you can be wanting to work on it a little bit more, to increase it in one way or another. So whatever it is, it's going to be favorable for you, Capricorn. So I think that if you want to improve your health and your bank book, I think both of those things are possible right now under this really good grand trine in earth signs. So good luck. Okay, what does it mean to an Aquarian? Well, Aquarius, no, I don't think you could I still think you can't quite afford something really pricey, because Mercury in Taurus is squaring your sun. But if you could overlook that, Aquarius, then, oh boy, you could take wonderful advantage of the fact that the Sun and Mars in Gemini are trining your sun, and Jupiter in Libra is also trining your sun, and that Jupiter is about to go direct on the 10th, and that's going to help you, Aquarius, because it could bring a nice partner to you, or there may be some, with a little gentle nudge right now, there could be some settling of a legal matter that allows you to go forward and form new partnerships or be involved in some sort of merger or acquisition. That is really possible. And if that happens, that will bring you more peace and prosperity. So remember, a gentle nudge doesn't hurt anybody, and it can bring us all forward toward a better future. So I hope you're looking forward to that, Aquarius. All right, what does it mean to a Pisces? Well, Pisces, this is a time, because your sign is a mutable sign and there are 5 planets in a harsh grand cross in mutable signs, that you really would be better off if you just sort of tuned out all the people that are causing pressure for you or tension, or who are squabbling, or they may be treacherous or deceptive, and certainly they could be somewhat two-faced. There could be two-faced phonies around right now. So you may not know who to believe. And you can be under pressure to keep doing everything exactly right now, and I don't think you can get away from that, Pisces. But on the other hand, sometimes they say that trouble can bring out the best in a person. And so when you are looking around at the other things that are sort of going wrong around you, maybe it's time for you just to count your blessings, Pisces, and to accentuate the positive. Anybody can do that at any time in their life. And so, you know, the greatest power in the whole world is the power of prayer. And so if you need guidance in any way, seek it from above, Pisces, and you will get the right answers, particularly to some of the turmoil that you're not causing that is around you. You have to try very hard to seek your own peace of mind right now and to keep working hard, because that's the pathway to success. All right, thanks so much for tuning in. Remember, you can see the show anytime you want by subscribing to it on our website, starborninstitute.org.